my kako. My name is Imai-Hong. I am an avionics engineer at the Hawai'i Space Flight Lab. If you look at my name tag, it says Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology. Reason for that is the Hawai'i Space Flight Lab is housed under our School of Ocean and Earth Science and Technology College, and under that we are specifically part of the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit about me first, and then I'm going to tell you about our lab. Ooh. That's, nope. Well, okay, here we go. So I grew up here in Hawaii. I'm originally from the Big Islands. I am a Puna girl, so that's on the east side. I participated in robotics. I was really big into scholastic robotics, and that's what really sparked my journey to becoming an electrical engineer. I graduated from Waikato School in 2007, and then from the University of Hawaii at Manoa, College of Engineering, electrophysics track in 2012. While I was in undergrad, I started doing small satellites, actually on my third day of undergrad, and I never really looked back. So I've been a part of 15 different orbitals and suborbital projects so far. We launched our most recent satellite, HiTi, which is a 6-unit CubeSat, so about the size of a shoebox, last month, late last month, from Kennedy Space Center. And it's going to deploy on Thursday, so if I seem like I'm a little tired, that is the reason. We are panicking. We are in panic mode. But yeah, the first satellite I worked on and actually delivered was Hiakasat, shown in the corner. And we launched that one from Kauai at the Pacific Missile Range facility. So the launch vehicle was there. It's called the Super Stripey. The Hawaii Space Flight Lab has allowed me to do a lot of different things, meaning that we have a very small team and we all have to be very flexible in our roles. So I do a lot of integration, testing, and as well as, the typical circuit board design and troubleshooting. Along with that, I do actively participate in our robotics programs here in Hawaii. And I did have the privilege of working on Mauna Kea while I was an undergrad at one of the observatories, the Canada-France-Hawaii Telescope. And because I'm an overachiever, I'm also the executive director of Ohana Kilohoku, which is a Native Hawaiian nonprofit that supports astronomy and space science here in Hawaii. We are a Native Hawaiian organization, so I'm part Native Hawaiian as well as all of my board members and the mentors in our group. We do a lot of different events where we bring cultural ike, or cultural knowledge, together with telescopes and have a sharing of knowledge at public free events here in Hawaii. And I'm also the CEO of Mahina Aerospace, a spin-off company from the Hawaii Space Flight Lab, where we are trying to make space more accessible and democratize it by providing small satellites that are low in cost and available to everyone who wants to access space. Brief overview of the Hawaii Space Flight Lab. We were founded in 2007, which is the year I graduated from high school. And I've been a part of the lab since pretty much right around the time it started. I started working as a student assistant there and just haven't stopped. We are a collaboration between the School of Ocean and Earth Science and Technology, which is the college we're housed in, and the College of Engineering. So most of our staff and faculty are part of the College of Engineering or have graduated from the College of Engineering, and we work hand in hand with our staff scientists. This is something that's very unique to our program, and it's not found in very many other colleges, where the scientists and engineers work together to develop satellites and the science payloads that go on them. We do a lot of space science research, so some of my colleagues have just come back from the eclipse and chasing that. We we do earth science research, particle physics research, solar physics, and exoplanet research. So exoplanets is a field that we're starting to get into using swarms of small satellites. Everything else we've been doing kind of one-off small satellite projects. Vertical integration. So when we first started our lab, we wanted to be the first university system that was able to do everything from design through mission operations, including launch, within a university system. We found out that launching satellites is pretty hard after launching Hiyakasat on the Super Stripey from Hawai'i. So right now we do everything except launch, and we've been very fortunate to have launch opportunities through the CubeSat Launch Initiative, which is run by NASA. But we do have the ability to develop and design instruments and payloads, as well as do all of our own integration and testing of all of our spacecraft, and we do mission operations as well. We also have several ground stations, so the Hawaii Community College has our X-band radio. We've got several different radios and antennas on Kauai, where we use that as a training facility for the Pacific Missile Range facility, and we also have a ground station at Manoa campus. Cosmos is our mission operations flight software. It was funded by NASA originally, and it's the comprehensive open architecture solution for mission operation systems. We have been developing this since about 2012, I believe, and it is open source, so if anyone is interested in this, looking at doing swarms of any type, this software can be really good. So we have a demonstration here. We have used this on orbit for Neutron 1, which was the 3U CubeSat that I was holding up in my About Me page. That satellite was about the size of a loaf of bread. We deployed that off of the International Space Station in 2020, and it burned up in the atmosphere in 2022. But we have flight proven this software. It has a wide variety of tools in its suite, and it is the mission operations software we are trying to exercise currently as we prepare for deployment of high tide. So we do have an ADCS test bed, so we're going through a little bit of our facilities. This test bed was about $1 million, and it can test satellites up to 100 kilograms, I believe. So we have a state-of-the-art test bed that includes a Helmholtz cage, sun simulator, motion tracking system, air-bearing platform, and all of the control systems that we need. We also have a star simulator that we use to also test our star field for control and navigation. So some of our small satellites, like I said, we launched Super Stripey in 2015 from Kauai. This was the first time a university had kind of done everything from launch, or all the way up through launch. Unfortunately, Super Stripey did not pass on its first flight, so it failed on the first stage, and so our satellite very quickly became a submarine that we were not able to operate. But it was the first time that we had ever delivered a spacecraft to NASA standards, and that was a really big win for us. So Hiyakasat was about 55 kilograms. It took us quite a while to build, and it had a hyperspectral imager on board that was developed by some researchers at UH. This was the second generation of the instrument, and we were really excited to test it, but that didn't happen. It's okay. Then we moved on to particle physics with Neutron 1, which is a 3U CubeSat. Like I said, it deployed off the ISS in November 2020. We operated for about 20 months on orbit. We were testing an instrument for the Luna HMAP mission that went to the moon with Artemis 1. And then we also, during this time frame, developed the Artemis CubeSat kit, which is a low-cost 1U satellite kit with educational materials and open source software that student teams, researchers can use to get familiarized with spacecraft mission design and learn how that works. Okay, this is just another deployment. All right, so on to HiTi. So this is the satellite that we are deploying out of the ISS on Thursday. Our team's really excited about it. It is a hyperspectral imager. I told you that Hyakusat was version 2 of the instrument. This is version 4 of the Fabre-Pérou instrument. We will be taking images in the infrared range, long wave infrared, I believe. So looking at more of the thermal signatures. So we are looking forward to deploying that and operating it very soon. Also, HiTi is already going to be transformed into another mission, so HiTi 2 is upcoming. We're currently working on that. We're hoping to deploy this one or launch this one in 2025. This satellite will be significantly larger because while we were developing HiTi 1 as like a test platform to see if this instrument actually works in space with a cryogenic cooler on board, we got another idea to do HiTi 2, which was something that was proposed to us from Utah State University. They wanted to see if they could dump heat. They had a heat extractor, and so our mission manager said, great, you can take this instrument that generates a ton of heat, try to get rid of all of that. We realized we needed a much larger spacecraft. So HiTi 2 will be a 16U CubeSat and will also be orbiting in low Earth orbit. We're also planning to do a lunar HiTi mission, as well as doing some space situational awareness and having constellations in the future. So these are all of NASA's NASA's satellite fleet, sorry, the CubeSat or SmallSat fleet, and we have been part of 3 different Earth observation CubeSats. So we are a sister organization of the Hawai'i Space Grant Consortium. We help to support various projects and various student research projects as well. We help train students in the aerospace fields from undergraduate and graduate students, as well as we support a lot of K-12 programs, including the robotics community here in Hawaii. We also do help a lot of the undergrad research. So we have students who are doing various research projects, including a low-cost reaction wheel for a small satellite, as well as an on-board computer. They're trying to figure out onboard computer evaluations. So those are the current undergraduate research projects that we're helping with. There's also rover projects. And this image up here was from when we had a community college project going on where 4 of our different community colleges in Hawaii were collaborating to do sounding rocket research. So they had created a project and were collaborating together, and the Hawai'i Space Flight Lab helped to support that. We also have various student teams in vertically integrated projects that are doing research with us, including a rover project as well as a SmallSat project. Oh, and a rocketry project. All of our missions have included undergraduates significantly. From start to finish, we try to include them on every mission that we have. We also have started an EPIC course, or Earth and Planetary Exploration courses. This is currently a certificate program at the university that helps to train scientists and engineers as they're in their undergraduate studies to learn how to work together on space missions. It's something that really needs to be trained into both the scientists and the engineers on how to collaborate effectively. And so there's 4 courses in this certificate program, and we're working to move that into a minor program before it becomes a full lab major. And all of those courses are very focused on hands-on training and getting the students to design their own mission. And so far we've had 2 missions selected for the CubeSat launch initiative. We have a aerospace engineering concentration within the mechanical engineering department. This was something that was introduced 2 years ago and something that we're very proud of. Part of the Artemis project was developing the course materials for this specific program. So Project Poke was a program that I had developed. This was for middle and high school students to get involved and come up with their own spacecraft missions. So they got to interact with hardware and try to think of how they could make the world better using remote sensing. This was funded by the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund after COVID to try to spark innovative ways of learning. And this was inspired by the Hawaii Science and Technology Museum, who won a launch on the Firefly Alpha 1 in 2019. They came to us with $5,000 and a dream to launch a satellite in 3 months. As you know, Firefly Alpha took a lot longer than just 3 months to get off the ground. However, we were able to deliver a satellite to them, but we noticed a problem that we needed to solve, or that we wanted to solve, in that there are these student teams, these educational programs who have access to a launch, but they don't have access to the electronics and the hardware to make a satellite. They don't have the education to be able to put together the mission. So that's what inspired us to create the Artemis program, and then from there, navigate down to the middle and high school level. And that is my presentation. I know a lot of you are very tired, so thank you so much for your attention.